Welcome to another Legacia Forum. We are always glad to have your viewership. And today, we are talking about approaching career selection like a scientist. Yes, every scientist, first of all, will gather their data before they validate their theory. So approach your career like a scientist. I want to begin with a short story of a young man called Katana. Katana grew up in rural coastal Kenya. And his daily life was interesting. It's perhaps what you would want to have every day. It involved strolls along tropical white sandy beaches. And when Katana was not helping his father, who was a fisherman, he loved eating his coconuts off the tree. Needless to say, Katana was a swimmer par excellence. At 19 years, he was presented with a decision that would make him leave his current environment. He was presented with career decision making, and he found it very hard to navigate that decision and to map out his direction. So he had scored very well in his KCSE, and he was sure to go to the university, but he really had no clue which career to choose. By the virtue of finishing high school, Katana became the most learned person in his family. He was a firstborn in a family of 7, and his parents had not pursued secondary education. So Katana had faced his facts. He knew he was the hope of the family, and he knew he wanted to build a prolific and a successful career. He wanted to lift his family out of poverty, so he did not want to make a careless decision. But this was a period that was riddled with confusion and uncertainty. You can just imagine what career Katana would have selected had a businessman who used to market his father's produce in Mombasa not come to his rescue. Katana wanted a career that matches his interests with future opportunities. But the greatest challenge that was standing between him and success was information. And you know, they say that information is power. We find that Katana's host, who is a businessman in Mombasa, agreed to host him for a week, a trip that Katana was overjoyed to do. In the 19 years of his life, he had not gotten an opportunity to step into the island of Mombasa. But this altruistic man came to his rescue. He knew that there are a lot of reliable sources of information on occupations out in the city, and he gave Katana that good opportunity of making an informed choice. So this host went to lengths and bounds of investing in his time and his resources to ensure that Katana chose the right career. The first thing that he did when they got to Mombasa is to pay a career advisor who Katana talked to, and from the utilization of what interested Katana and the future opportunities, they were able to narrow down. Katana was able to narrow down to 3 occupations. And Katana went on board to do an in-depth research about these 3 occupations that interested him. When Katana got home from that encounter with the career advisor, the host was very excited to know that Katana was making some progress. When Katana mentioned the 3 occupations that he had in mind, the host gave him the opportunity to talk to some of the people who were in that industry. Katana was able to do informational interviews with 3 people from those professions. asking them how their daily work was like, asking them what their requirements for the industry was. And Katana was able to gain a lot of knowledge about those fields from those interactive interviews that he did. The host went further to ask these three people whether they could allow Katana to go and see how the work is like in their industry. So Katana took half a day to meet each of the three people in the occupations that he was interested in. He met a surveyor, he met a landscaper, and he met an economist. And by the end of the week, Katana was sure which career to select. You see that Katana walked through the journey like a scientist. First of all, receiving information from an expert, checking that information is cross-confirmed in research, going ahead to talk to the people in the industry, and actually taking some experiential learning by job shadowing for half a day with the three people in the careers that he had potential entry in. Career selection is not an event. It should really be a process. And because information is power, sometimes people want to keep power to themselves. But we find that this host knew the power that comes with enlightenment, and he gave Katana that opportunity. In Legacia, we believe that every individual should have that opportunity to explore before they decide. And because we want or we desire that individuals get to create careers where they can be able to achieve what is most meaningful to them, we offer an online career guidance system whereby a young person can be able to explore with a broad-based information, with tools and with resources. We have over 1,000 possible occupations. But ask a young person, you ask them what they would want to be when they are young, at most they would only count 10 occupations that they know about. There's a lot more that people can use, or a lot more occupations that people can get into that are very well aligned to their interest. So give your child that gift. Help them align their desires. Help them create a reality that they expect. Help them achieve what they want. And most importantly, we believe in Legacia that life is the essence of life is in its impact. Let somebody be able to make an impact where they are. We desire that young people get into courses and they perform well in them. What inhibits performance? When somebody is not interested in a certain career, then they are not motivated even to score well. And when they get into the industry, they have no interest to utilize what they learned. So we are giving our young people that opportunity. And so much more. We want to ensure that as you do that, as you transform your own life, we also do our part as Legacia. We want to transform the lives of the physically challenged who come from financially needy backgrounds. You also give them an opportunity by enrolling yourself. So thank you very much. And we never like to finish our forums without asking you a question. And today we are asking you, what information was available to you at the point of your career selection? Did you do an in-depth research before getting into that career? Did you meet people who were in the industry? Did you experience in tangible ways, either through volunteership, through job shadowing? Did you have a touch of what you will get into before you started learning about it? So leave us a comment. The question is, what information resource was available to you at the point of your career selection? Thank you for listening to us. We are always glad that you create that time. Thank you, and we hope to come back to you with more resources. Thank you very much.